Welcome. Another episode of Opening the Flat. Um, I want to say everybody to like, subscribe, um, so you get your update information about DC sports. Man, we gotta. It's been a. Also, let me say, also get to my other YouTube channel, it's DC Mark 202. My wife and I. We got a lot of travel trips that we do. We just put up another video, a latest video of us our trip to cruise on Norwegian to New York City to Bermuda. So go check that page out too, to where we get to tell you what all our how the cruise was and how we got around Bermuda. So check that page out, like and subscribe so you can get all your information and um, just to see, how we do things and how much fun we have while we travel to try to get around the world. We got a couple trips coming up um, in 2024. And yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all the folks out there um, who made it to 2024, man. This was big. This was big. I'm a DC native, so just to say you made it to another new year or another Happy New Year, man, that's big. That's big for all of us. It's big for all the people who come in and just living. So like and subscribe and support us. So we down to our last game. We getting on the Commanders talk. Um, it's been a while since I've been on here. And man, a lot has happened a whole of these last 3-4 weeks. Man, I think we had the Rams, the Jets. We played who they played last week. They came storming back against. I can't recall, but we on a losing streak. I think we on an 8-9 game losing streak to end this year. We got a big rivalry match. Well, it's not even a rivalry anymore. We just got a matchup against a division opponent, the Cowboys, and we still got guys on the football team still have a lot to play for. Um, I'm not quite sure if um, I'm not quite sure where their effort is, because their effort to me has died down drastically since the beginning of the year when we started losing big games. It's big games. So, but this is another game against the Cowboys. The Cowboys still have a whole lot to play for. They're trying to play for a division title. Um, if they beat us, they're going to win the division. Um, and that's point blank. So they still have a lot to play for. I believe they're still going to play a lot of their guys, a lot of their starters. Um, they're going to try to put some points up on us real quick, and then they're going to try to rest some guys if they get a big lead and get ahead of us early late in the third quarter, fourth quarter. So, we're going to have to try to watch out for that. Honestly, this game matters to us as well. We're looking at it some people are looking at it as a draft situation. Me, I see it as, guys gonna fall who they're gonna fall with. A lot of quarterbacks get in the league, most of them fail. Some make it, most fail. And some of the best players that come out the draft, they end up being mid to late first rounder, second, third, fourth rounder. So, you try not to. You don't want to cheer your team to lose. Of course, you want them to beat an opponent, especially somebody like Dallas, who I hate, and who came up there and ate turkey wings and turkey on Thanksgiving on us, because that shit was embarrassing. And I highly, uh, I didn't like that. I didn't like that as far as sportsmanship. I didn't like that far as it seemed like kids when they do stuff like that, and kids pay attention to how these are grown as men do things, and they follow them. So I found as though that was quite disrespectful. But going into this last game, I just want them to play hard, make this a ball game. Make this a game to where they have to play all 4 quarters. Shit. Break one of them motherfuckers' backs. 2 or 3 of them. Break their motherfucking backs so they could go on a playoff with injuries. Or blow a motherfucking knee out so, they could be down a man going into the playoffs. That's what you fighting for now. You fighting for your decency and your respect. And, Dallas don't have that. They don't have any respect for them. No respect. They plan. They say, the hell with the Commanders and what they think, who they going against. They just say, man, we're gonna come out, we're gonna blow them out. So it is what it is. Last time I talked to you, we had this Sam Howell was playing. He played. He struggled. He's been struggling the whole end of November. In December, he has gotten worse. I think he even struggled all year. A lot of people is trying to anoint him as the next quarterback, but I personally, and I've been saying it all year, I just didn't see it. I just didn't see it. I just didn't see that he was the guy. And it started off, like I said, with him taking the sacks early in the year. We were blaming him taking the sacks. And him taking the sacks, it was just telling me that he wasn't seeing the field like he needed to. So that's what it was telling me. He still was young, still wasn't seeing the field, still wasn't getting the ball out to his first option. So, a lot of offensive plays goes by timing. You need to drop back, get the ball out as quick as you can to if your receiver's open or not. And then if not, then you get to your secondary, then your third, or you could take off and run. And he was struggling with a lot of that. And because of that, he made the offensive line look bad. And then he made himself look bad. And then, more importantly, I see he wasn't getting the ball out to his playmakers. And I've been saying that all year long about getting the ball to his playmakers. Terry McLaurin, Dotson. He hit Samuel quite a bit, and Logan Thomas wasn't using his tight end effectively over the middle. And then even to the running backs in the backfield, getting them out in the flat. So over the middle, throwing the ball as your last option. So he wasn't seeing the field, and it just went on and on and on. We didn't give him no help. The enemy didn't give him no help because I believe going into the summer, I believe that we was going to be a run-first offense. We was going to run the ball heavy and rely to do a lot of play action to where he could get the ball down the field to our playmakers. But that didn't happen. We struggled. We didn't move the ball. We wasn't effective. And then as the season got on, you'd have thought they'd have got better. They got worse. And then allowed Brissett to come in. Brissett gave you that. When he came out, he threw, a couple of touchdowns, completions, and the offense looked drastically different with him in there. So that was big too. That was big. So our offense struggled. So, and before I want to say that, I want to talk about, our defense. I believe our defense is 32nd in the league, man. That defense is the worst. We have no pass rush. Our linebackers has to be dead last, and everything. They can't fill the holes. They can't get out to the flat. They can't drop back in zone or cover over the middle. Our cornerbacks are terrible. They haven't. I don't want to say that they played terrible this year. Not necessarily that they're terrible. They played terrible. Our safeties, man. Our defense just been bad, man. Our defensive coordinators been bad. I was kind of shocked that we had a high school football coach coaching at a professional level. I know everyone needs to start somewhere. Everybody got to get a job. Everybody needs to start. But they knew this was a big year for this regime. And if we're going to get to the playoffs, take it to the next level, everybody there was going to get terminated. They failed. They just didn't fail. They failed drastically because we can't stop anyone. We can't stop anyone. We can, maybe that's a scheme thing. Maybe that's on coaching. Maybe that's, to me, I just think we don't have any of the talent to you know, be a number one defense or a top 10 defense. We definitely have to after we lost Sweat and Young, we definitely got to upgrade at defensive end. We definitely have to upgrade at linebackers and even at corners and safety. We need guys all over the field. We need guys all over the field to come in and step in. And more importantly, we need a defensive coach that's going to hold these guys accountable. And they got to hold them accountable. They got to come out there. They got to play. They got to give their best effort. And they got to hold these guys accountable. They just need coaching. Some of these guys are very talented. Some of these guys can go out there and become Pro Bowlers. They was good last year. They was the last couple of years. They were pretty good. So they're not too far away from They just need a good little sprinkle, good little and coaching, a good little sprinkle of guys out there that can play. They get the guys out there that can play, then I believe they could be back to being a good defense. But they definitely need to upgrade linebacker. Stop being cheap. Stop trying to get these bum dudes from other teams being cheap, and get them out there. So they need a linebacker. They need a bona fide defensive end, a sure pass rushing specialist. You get somebody else to play the other end. You could keep Smith Williams. You might get him and Two Hill probably can rotate and let them play their position. They don't have to be dominant pass rushers. They could just be able to play their role, play their position, and then you allow the other guys along the line to be dominant. And then we got to upgrade, the corners. Fuller, I believe, a free agent. We got to figure out what they got to figure out. Does he fit what they want to do? Is St. Jude's? He took a step back big time. A lot of that could be coaching, I believe. Forbes, coaching. That's coaching, man. That's coaching. They got to coach them up. They got to coach them guys up and get them in better position. You got to see if we could sign Curl back, because Curl, he been playing good. And then you got to figure out what's going on in that other safety position, the strong safety, because I believe the strong safety, because you got Ford's been out all year. He hasn't came back. Got to figure that spot out. What we going to do? We need to upgrade that as well. So, but this game coming up, when you talk about playing a divisional opponent, this game come up, guys still got to figure out what's going on with their job, who's going to be around, who's going to move on. I think the turnover is going to be huge this year, especially if you bring in, let's just say if they release Rivera, like most people have been expecting, and they release Martin Mayhew, they release the other guy that's in there. So they're gonna have to come in. They got to get a GM or a VP of football operations and the GM, a head coach, all offensive staff, all defensive staff. So it's going to be a big, big, big turnover. And this game right here is going to lead up to what they're going to do called Black Monday. The Cowboys going to be ready. They got a light to play for. They got a division title to play for. They want to host the game in the first playoff this coming up next week. They want to play somebody. They want to get the Rams, right? They want to play the Rams, or they want to play, or who's winning the South? I want to say the Saints are in the league, either the Saints or Tampa Bay, but I think the Saints are in the league. The Cowboys, they want to host. They want to host and play those teams so they could get a playoff victory to get some momentum. But it all starts this week. Do we want to make this a game with them? Do we want to fall back and say, oh, we want the number 2 pick in the draft for the number 3? Whichever way the Patriots fall to. Do we want to do that? I'm still a big believer. We had high draft pick Chase Young, RG3, and some of these other guys. How did that work out? We had LeVar Arrington, Chris Samuels. Who else I could think about the last 20 years? Think about that. So out of all those guys I just named, only Chris Samuels probably is the only one that honestly really worked out for us in the long haul. So It's not always necessary that, you get a high draft pick and you're like, damn, we're going to get somebody, we're going to get a quarterback, the best quarterback. Because sometimes that shit just don't work. Sometimes the quarterbacks get in here, they can't see the field, they get frustrated, they throw a whole bunch of picks and then they ruin, get sacked. So it's a lot of things that they need to do. They need to upgrade on the offensive side of the ball. They got to get offensive lineman, of course, right? Got to get another tight end position, right? And then you got to look at your wide receiver position to see if you got to fill the wide receiver position. I think they stocked their running back. And that's depending on the gifts they want to stay or go. But I think they're pretty stacked. Then you got to figure out the quarterback position. Quarterback position, got to figure out is you going to stick with Howell, even though I don't think Howell is a guy. Got to figure out if we draft a guy, if we're going to play him immediately, is he going to sit behind the guy? Because Howell might sit behind Howell for the first year. Do they sign Brissett? Brissett going to go, he going to leave in free agency. It's a lot of shit that they got to try to figure out. And it starts from this week. Who's playing, who's giving the most effort, who wants to stay around for the new regime, who wants to leave. You had Jonathan Allen talking about he don't want to stay around for a new turnover, and then I'll trade him, let him go. Let these guys go. These guys haven't been winning. These guys come with this attitude that, it's just a lot of stuff that's coming to mind when I think about a lot of our guys have been on the Skins, man. A lot of guys they're not talking about. They talking a whole lot, but they're not proving anything on the field. They coming out there and they getting their ass whipped week in and week out, and they complaining about they want to go. Let them go, man. Let them go. Let them go. Let us start over new with some new guys that want to be here, that want to work, and that want to build a winning culture around them, just like the Ravens have or the 49ers. Right? They have a winning culture. That's what they do. Or look what they cheering around in Miami and did with Mike McDaniels, Tyreek, Tua, Waddle. They bought Jalen Ramsey. They bought them games. They came to Miami and they came with a winning attitude. And them bum ass motherfuckers that's been on their team that didn't want to win, they got rid of them. They got rid of them. They moved them, and I don't give a fuck what type of status they was. They Pro Bowlers, All Pro. That shit don't mean shit. You ain't winning as a team. So they got rid of them. Same thing like with the Ravens, with the 49ers, and everybody else. We need a winning attitude. We need guys that want to win, that's trying to win, that want to play. And that's a lot of things we have to look at. And it starts this week against Dallas. Do you want to win? Do you want to beat the Cowboys? Do you want to go out and give your best effort to show the new regime that's coming in, hey, I'm willing to lay it all on the line, every Sunday. Win or lose, I'm going to give it my all. And that's where we need to stand at. So it's been an interesting year. A lot of shit going on with the Skins. And man, I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad that we moving forward, and we're gonna figure out exactly where we stand there far as a football team with GM. If they release the head coach, a new head coach, new scouts, the draft, the camps, everything that comes with it. I'm interested to see how they move forward, signing free agents, how they going to move with these 5 draft picks in the top 100. Who they looking at? Why they want to look at that person? Can that person help them on the field? And sometimes it's not always just on the field. Sometimes it could be if you have a backup. Is he teaching the guys how to be a backup, how to be a professional, how to maneuver in certain situations, or teaching the quarterback, hey, if this guy does this, I'm gonna do this. It's not just always about dropping back and slinging the ball all over the place. You got to get a feel for your players, get a feel for your receivers, your running backs, knowing where they are learning the system, knowing, just like Pat Mahomes and Kelsey. They know each other's, hey, if the defender do this, I'm rocking this way. Or if he do that, I'm going that way. So it's a lot to learn. And I'm just willing to see what the Skins are going to do. Willing to see, how this game, our last finale going to play out. I want the game to be, a little bit close, and I never want to root for them to lose. That's never the case. But I'm just interested to see how the players are going to play. And if did they give up, or they still going to give all out there and get their best effort. So, but I still I think the Commanders going to lose against the Cowboys 27-17. And the reason I believe they're going to lose, I mean, straight up, Dallas is just, the Cowboys, they just better than the Commanders right now. They're just off the top. They just got a better football team. They got a better quarterback. They just better than them. They got better defense. They just better than them altogether. And honestly, it might not even be that close. It might be 30-10, because they just better than the Commanders, right? The Cowboys still have a lot to play for. Division title. They try and gain momentum going into the playoffs. They trying to they've been getting the playoffs and lose, so they trying to break that streak, and they just have, a whole lot to play for, right? So I'm taking Dallas to win. I know the Commanders and guys on the team, they're gonna try to give their best effort, and we're gonna see who wants to be around, who wants to stay around, and who wants to, move into the new regime to try to get a job for next year. And that's what is important. Next year, stay healthy. Try to stay healthy during this game. Play hard, but your health, you got to stay healthy, man. You have to stay healthy and do what you got to do, man. But let's get out of this game without any injuries. Let's go ahead and leave the season, or leave the season on a good note, man. Good note. Big week coming up after that. Playoff week. We're going to have some good games coming on playoff week. We had some good games going on. We got the national championship coming up this week coming up. You got Michigan against Washington in the national championship. Man, I would have never thought in a million years Michigan against Washington. That stinks. But it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be an all right game. I think it's Monday night. They're gonna play. A lot of us was thinking our usual Georgia, Alabama, stuff like that. But both of them games, both Georgia should have still probably could have made it, because they'd beat the brakes off everybody that was in the playoffs. So they're probably a little bit hurt off of that. But early, I'm taking Michigan in this game. I don't know who I'm gonna take. I don't know. Washington been playing lights out. They got that quarterback. He playing lights out. And even some of us been talking about, we need to draft him. I don't know, man. He had those 2 ACL injuries. And I just don't know, where they stand that far as that, So I don't know. It's just gonna be. Hopefully we see a good game. We're gonna watch a good game. We're gonna say, man, they played a lot. Michigan played good. Washington played good. I just want to see good games like it was in the previous week where they played at. And so we got a lot going on. After that, you got playoff week. Saturday and Sunday next week. We're gonna set the road to the Super Bowl. We're gonna see where they at. The Ravens got a bye week, man. They tough. I don't think, man. I don't want to jinx them in the playoffs, but I don't know if anybody could beat the Ravens. The Ravens. I watched their games the month of December, man. They smacked down everybody, and it wasn't like they was playing. They was played the best teams, playoff teams, good teams in the month of December. They came and laid that wood on all of them. And kept it moving. So, man, Ravens going, man, they doing something. They doing something good for them folks up the street in Baltimore, man. And that's what we gotta do us down here in DC, man. We've been losing for so long, man. We don't even know. We got us fighting on the radio stations with some bullshit. You got commentators on these radio stations calling, instigating shit, talking bullshit that don't even make sense. They instigate. You got fans saying believe in this, believe in that. They on Twitter. I read a lot of comments on Twitter, man. I just delete that shit because that shit don't even make sense. Why people coming up with these dumbass mock drafts and all that type of shit? Dude, stop. We need to stop all that foolishness. None of us are GMs, none of us are head coaches, and none of our opinions don't matter. Just be a fucking fan, and watch the game. Be a fan, watch the game, see what the moves that these guys gonna make, and stop saying a whole bunch of this foolishness on these radio stations, man. It gets to a point to where I have to turn that shit off. I can't even listen to it anymore. And the same thing about with the radio DJs, man. They even entertaining that bullshit, man. So let's entertain some wins. Let's entertain us getting to the playoffs. Let's entertain getting to the Super Bowl, man. That's what we need to be entertaining. And that's where I want them to work towards. Let's do that. Let's work towards getting one win. We ain't had a win in 9-10 weeks. Let's entertain one win. And then move forward before we start entertaining mock drafts and entertaining who they should get a quarterback and all that other shit. Let's entertain a winning attitude first. Let's start from right there. Winning attitude, man. The Wizards, they still losing like a motherfucker. Ain't nothing changed about that. They played last night. They got their ass spanked 114-90. They got beat the other day. They lost by like 40 the other day. So, man, it's kind of hard for me to be talking about the Wizards or what their Wizards going to do, because I just don't understand. I just don't know if they're giving their maximum effort, man. They're giving their maximum effort. I just don't know. And we have a lot of that going on in DC sports. But let me get out of here. Like and subscribe. Try to keep you up to date about what's going on with all DC sports. This is the season finale for the Commanders, so I'm gonna start getting into more about what the Wizards doing. Keep in the Capitals. Capitals having their season start. They just had an all-star. They just got announced yesterday. We're gonna keep you involved with the playoffs. We got a lot of playoff people going on this year, and I'm gonna try to get some more special guests on here so we could talk about what the playoffs and who we taking going into the playoffs. So keep in contact, like, subscribe, and just keep up to date. And like I said, if you want to check my other YouTube channel out, you see a lot of our vacations and a lot of stuff we do. Trips, Aruba, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Bermuda. We got a big Africa trip coming up, Cape Town. We got a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff 2024. So check it out. Like and subscribe to that channel as well. But I keep you up to date with all sports news, everything that's going on as far as the Commanders, everybody else. Check y'all out. Peace.